everybody, welcome back to Board Online, Board Offline. We are here with the finale of our gameplay video for the Legends of the Alliance app for Star Wars Imperial Assault. So if you missed it last time, we've discovered a traitor in the rebellion and we are now trying to hunt him down. He's running from us. He's trying to get onto a spaceship, onto a ship and fly out of, I forget which planet we're on. But he's running for the hangar. He's trying to get in a ship and get out of there. So we've got to try to stop him. So let's get right to the board and see how we do in the rest of this mission for Legends of the Alliance.
All right, we're going to do Garkin next. He's going to move 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, even though it's a relatively short distance, he is going to charge. So he suffers 2 strain, and he's going to move right into the middle of these guys. And he's focused, so... And his ferocity ability allows him to use an additional red die instead of an additional green die. He's going to use his vibro axe to try to cleave. So it's going to be 2 red and a yellow. He's going to specifically be attacking this Stormtrooper that's behind that door there. All right. So the Stormtrooper has 3 block, which cancels that die out entirely. However, these 2 still get through. So we've got 3 damage here, which kills this Stormtrooper. Then we've got cleave. So we will cleave this Stormtrooper here, so he suffers 1 damage. And then on top of that, it was a rampage. We can use rampage. After you resolve charge, each hostile figure adjacent to you suffers 1 damage. So that one and this one. So this Stormtrooper's at 2 damage. This one's at 1 damage. And that'll be the end of Garkin's turn. All right, so now the blue Stormtroopers. When the first figure in this group declares an attack, add 1 green die. So they're getting an additional green die for this first guy. Move forward to attack the hero with the highest endurance. All right. Now, before this, at the beginning of their activation, we can't use quick draw because Jen is completely tapped out on strain. All right, so she can't do anything. All right. So here we go. Attack the hero with the highest endurance. They have the same, so they're attacking Garkin. So it'll be 2 green and a blue. Garkin uses the black die. Let's get the rest of these out of the way. Okay. He evades one of the surges, but that's 3 damage, and then that additional evade. The additional surge is so 4 damage total. Now the good news is, of course, that Garkin has his rage ability. He suffered 3 or more damage, so he will become focused again. So that's going to be good for his next attack. I think, though, you know what? Let's go ahead and apply Wookiee loyalty. We'll exhaust it to apply +1 block. So he still suffered 3 damage, but it removes 1 of the 4. So he still gets focused, but not quite as bad. And then it will be move to reposition 4. So 1, 2. Okay. And then this one has to attack as well, but he'll only have 1 green, 1 blue. All right, we got 1 block, 1 damage, +1, so 2 damage total. So now Garkin, his total damage is now 10 out of 24. So he's still doing pretty good. And that ends, oh wait, nope, this guy has to move. Let's not forget that this damage went with this Stormtrooper, and this one's gonna go 1, 2, and that damage goes with him. I think the best thing for Jen to do, actually, rather than attack, is to try to get 1, 2 in here and see if she can open this door so Garkin can come through and try to take out Ares. The security door was locked by the alarm protocols. The terminal could perhaps override... Oh, the terminal could override the lock. Ah, crap. Okay. Now, I can actually click on this door. I should have clicked on it before I moved there. Let me take these 2 moves back. 1, I believe she was... Was she there? She was there. Okay. We're going to stay there because, yeah, I can click to see that without having been right next to it. Okay. So instead, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that really 5 spaces? It is 5 spaces away. She's going to move 1, 2. So she's adjacent to Garkin and then attack that Stormtrooper. Blue and red. Stormtrooper blocks 1, but the other 2 get through, and a surge. Surge doesn't really matter, though. Oh, it does matter. It does matter because she only got 2 accuracy. She's 3 away from him. But the surge will let her get +2 accuracy. So she does hit him and kill him. And then she's going to use her Get Cocky ability. Exhaust this card after resolve an attack. If the target figure was defeated, recover 2 strain or become focused. And she's going to recover 2 strain. So she's down to 2 strain now. She'll actually go ahead and move here to get a little bit closer because range isn't going to have any effect on these Nexu because they have pretty good movement. So here, we're going to get 2 Nexu attacks in a row here. So first, the Elite Nexu. At the start of this activation, if a rebel is bleeding, which it's not, so this doesn't matter, but he would have gained +1 damage. All right, so Pounce. Place the figure in an empty space within 6 spaces and adjacent to 2 or more rebels. Then attack the rebel who has suffered at the least damage. I forgot about this. I probably should not have grouped them together. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so... Oh, this is the Elite one, actually, right here. So he's going to go here, adjacent to both rebels, and attack the one with the least damage, which is Jin. All right, so the Elite Nexu uses red and green. Jin uses white. It also does have bleed. Yeah, it also has bleed. So let's get rid of it. Oh, it doesn't matter. Look at this. So that's what it would have rolled, but it got all of that instead. It got this done instead, so it completely misses. And now, instead, we're going to go with... Now he has to move 3 to reposition 3. So he'll go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Nope, actually he'll go there. Okay. And he's standing on top of that terminal, which is kind of obnoxious. All right, well, that worked out pretty well. So we'll finish him. And then the regular Nexu is going to go. His bonus doesn't apply this turn either. Pounce. Place this figure in an empty space. Same thing as last time. So he can go here as well. Yep. And attack the rebel who has suffered the least damage again. So red and green. All right, so now this one, those get canceled out, but the 2 damage is going to get through, which puts her at 6 damage total. And she is bleeding now. And then the next 2 will move 3, reposition 3. I don't know. It's not really anywhere that the next 2 can go. So he'll stay there. He'll stay where he is. Okay. So that's the end of the round. So let's refresh our cards. Let's ready our cards, I mean. All right, we're going to go with Garkon again. He's going to take on 2 more strain so he can charge again. And he's going to charge 1, 2 right into here. Now, keep in mind, he's not adjacent to this guy. There is a wall there. He's going to attack the regular Nexu. And he's going to use his Force Pike. So, and he is also focused. So he's going to have 2 red and 2 yellow. The Nexu, of course, has the white. Hopefully we don't get that X, because that would be pretty terrible. Oh, look at that. We did. Oh, I can't believe that just happened. All right, so none of this matters. We had a pretty good roll. I'm pretty positive we would have wiped him out. So we wasted our focus. Let's see. But we did charge, which lets us use the Rampage ability. So each Nexu gains 1 damage. Okay, and then he's going to attack again with the Force Pike. All right, so we've got 1 block. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 damage. And again, we were attacking the regular Nexu, which has 6 health. So this surge ability right here, we can use to gain +1 damage. So that's 5 damage total. So that's, yeah, that kills this guy. Okay. That gave us 4 fame. Make sure I'm not missing any abilities there. That would be worthwhile. Now the Elite Nexu is going to activate. At the start of this figure's activation, if this figure is in an exterior space, which he's not, so that doesn't matter, he's going to pounce again. And once again, he can get adjacent to both. And then attack the Rebel who has suffered the least damage, which still is Jin. Okay, so again, let's see here. It attacks with a green and red, like we said. Now, Jin is still bleeding, so even if he damages her, it's not going to cause an additional bleed. Oh, yes. All right. Paid back in kind. She just rolled the X, and that was a pretty bad damage roll that we were going to be receiving there, so good stuff. Then, move 3, reposition 3. 1, 2, 3 is the best spot he can get. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now, that finishes his turn. So now Jin's got to go. Now let's see. You know what? She's going to throw caution to the wind. Go 1, 2, 3, and she's going to actually try to activate that terminal. In haste, Ares left his terminal unlocked. Brilliant move, Ares. A rebel can interact with the terminal and try to open the security door. There are a number of security routines running. You try to quickly identify the door's override. Test Insight plus Tech. Roll both pools at once. So she's got blue, green, and yellow for Tech, and then blue and green for Insight. Oop, that door got knocked off. All right, well, let's see. We've got, looks like three successes. Okay. You locate the remote open function, the door easily slides open. All right, so Garkin can work his way back around to come after Ares that way. You also stumble across an Imperial power station matrix and instinctively disable as much as you can before the system ticks your overrides and locks you out of its terminal. All right, we're going to discard the terminal. Well, what did that do, I wonder? That's interesting. Didn't really say there was anything particular that happened there, but we discard that terminal. Now she moved 3 to get there, so let's move away from that Nexu. Finish off her 5 movement, and that's the end of her turn. Okay, next we've got Ares moving. After this figure's activation, each other Imperial figure moves 1 toward the rebels. Okay, so then he's going to move 3 toward the hangar door. Let's get all these dice out of the way. He's going 1, 2, 3. Order after another Imperial figure with a figure cost of 6 or less, or not after. Order another Imperial figure with a figure cost 6 or less that can perform an attack. I'm going to go with Jin Odan. So, oh, but there's nobody. All right, she's safe. She is safe. That's good. I'm glad I moved to where she is. It's asking me now, is Ares adjacent to the hangar door? Yes. Ares fumbles with his code cylinder for a second, then flies through the hangar door. In his haste, he leaves it unlocked. Remove Ares again from the map. Set him aside. He keeps his current damage and conditions. Well, he doesn't have any yet, but he gets removed. Now, new objective, pursue Ares into the unlocked hangar. That leaves us with, this guy is the only one left to activate this round. So I think what I'm going to do is, instead of activating Garkin, I'm going to activate Jin. And she's going to use 1 strain to move to this space, and she's going to attack that Stormtrooper in hopes that we can kill him now. And we got him. Okay, so that Stormtrooper's dead. We got 6 fame for defeating that group, and Jin might as well go ahead and attack this Nexu to try to cover Garkin's path, because Garkin's going to come down this way to the hangar. Oh, wait, the Nexu doesn't roll black. The Nexu rolls white. Okay, so that's what we got there. All right, let's get these out of the way. Now, Garkin needs to make it down here to this door and chase after Ares. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. I wish there was a way for me to make it down there without using an entire move, but what can you do? So we will open that door now. The facility's hangar opens out over the great jungle. The sight would be breathtaking under different circumstances. Recalled patrols arrive to face your incursion. At the edge of the hangar, an enormous AT-ST awkwardly turns to face you. Stomping with each minor adjustment, a grizzled commander barks orders from the top hatch. Okay, now I've got just the regular AT-ST here, but just know that it is General Weiss is the one who has been deployed here. So we'll look closer at this card once we get an activation from him. Ares' information is always good, Weiss says, shaking a data pad, but rebel hostages, I owe him a bonus. But before I deliver you to the Imperial Security Bureau, you'll make great test subjects for my enhanced power field. Weiss spends a few moments entering commands into his vehicle console. As he does, power nodes emerge from panels beneath the floor, and the AT-ST's weapon systems automatically arm. So we're instructed to place this red Imperial mission token, which is a power station. Also, underneath the AT-ST here is another blue Imperial mission token, which is also a power station. And then we're told a rebel can attack a power station, which has health 7 and 1 black defense die. When a power station is destroyed, defeat it from the Imperial tracker. So we'll remove it from the tracker on the screen here. Your terminal overrides from earlier in the mission seem to have sapped some power from this power array. Choose a power station and it suffers 1 damage. So I think I'll have the red power station suffer 1 damage. More supplies are stacked neatly in a corner. So we've got a crate over here. Across the hangar you see Ares starting to climb up a ladder into a shuttle. You are too late, rebels. I just dropped everything I know to the general. Good luck getting it back now. Your pilot speaks up over the comms. Hold on, I think I can get you out of there. Your pilot hovers outside the hangar, but Weiss fires a seemingly unending arsenal from his vehicle. You're going to have to deal with Weiss before I can get you out, the pilot says, veering away, and I suggest you make it quick. Just visible on the horizon, you make out 2 TIE fighters streaming back to the base. With no other options, you must defeat the general. So our objective is updated to defeat General Weiss. Now, unfortunately, and probably not so wisely, I used both of Garkin's actions to move and then open that door. So he's tapped out. He's got to stay right there and take whatever's about to happen to him. Now, it looks like on the app here, I'm seeing that Weiss has started this round, like he's just showed up, but he's already considered to have gone. So I guess he's got to power up his AT-ST. So that's good at least. So we won't be taking that fire right off the bat. However, we still have both Ares and the Stormtroopers to go. So let's see what happens. Oh, blue power. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, let's see here. Blue power station. General Weiss performs this activation. He gains +2 accuracy, and his attack pool consists of 1 red and 1 yellow die. Okay, I guess he is moving actually. So this blue power station down here is what's activating. And let's see, activation. General Weiss attacks the healthy hero who has suffered the most damage. Well, that is definitely going to be Garkin. And he doesn't have any movement, just attacks. All right, and it's a red and yellow die. Garkin, of course, has a black. Whoa. And now, fortunately, Garkin rolled a 3 defense. So we have 1 damage here. We have no surges. Oh, but you know what? 1, 2. He doesn't even have enough range to get him. Wait, oh, it says he gains, or I'm sorry, accuracy. He does gain +2 accuracy, though. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. He still misses. He still does not have enough. So then the next thing that happens is recover 2. So nothing there. So Garkin got lucky. Next up, we've got the Stormtroopers. So squad training while attacking, gain Pierce 1, or if the target has already been attacked, they're going to gain Pierce 2. All right, so move 3 and attack Garkin. Well, all right. So let's go this guy first. 1, 2, 3. And they, of course, attack with blue and green. So we've got... All right, so that's 3 damage, which is... I'm going to let that 3 damage come through because that's going to focus Garkon because of his rage ability. But that's all that's going to happen because that surge has been canceled out. So now Garkon is at 13 damage. And then move to reposition 4. So let's see. He'll go 1, 2, I guess. Yeah, that looks good enough. All right, and then let's see here. We'll go this guy next. So 1, 2, 3. Oh, you know what? I forgot. No, actually, it didn't matter. That Pierce didn't matter because there was no defense. Now, this guy, though, is going to have Pierce 2 because Garkon has already been attacked. All right, so here we go. So he has Pierce 2, which brings this defense down essentially just to 1 defense. So 2 damage will get through, and that puts Garkon at 15 damage out of 24. And actually, though, you know what? That time I am going to use Wookiee Loyalty, again, to add 1 defense to the defense result. So he's actually at 14. And then he's got to reposition 1, 2. And then this guy, 1, 2, 3. Same attack again with Pierce 2. So he got through with 3 damage there, which puts Garkon at 17 damage out of 24 total health. Okay, now for Weiss's red power station down here. He performs this activation. He gains +2 accuracy using a red and green die. All right, and he attacks the healthiest hero who has suffered the most damage. Again, that is definitely going to be Garkon. So again, Garkon suffers another 3 damage. He really took some shots here. That puts him up to 20 damage. And finally, Ares climbs into the shuttle and rockets out the open hangar door with a casual salute. He escapes over the jungle and disappears into the atmosphere. All right, round 5. All right, I thought I'd give us a slightly different angle here because I know that ATST is pretty tall there when it's in between Garkon and the rest of the board and the camera, so this will give us a little better view. Now, I did realize that on that last roll, the ATST did not have accuracy to hit Garkon, so it missed again. So in fact, that 3 damage is taken back away, and he in fact is at 17 total damage. So now we're at the beginning of the next round. All right, so Jen is currently bleeding, so I could have her rest and also get rid of the bleeding as well as my other action. I would love to have Garkon come down here and attack this to try to weaken General Weiss. Of course, then he's completely opened up to these guys, but he's got a good shot. He's focused. He's got the force pike. All right, you know what? But he's at 17 damage, so 7 more damage, and he will be wounded. You know what? We're going to go for it. We're going to go for it. So, oh, wait. I don't know if he can make it, though, actually. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. No. Oh, he can't even make it. Okay. Here's what we're going to have to do. First, Garkon's going to go. He's going to rest. And so that's going to clear off his the strain. So his endurance is fully charged again. We're going to use a med pack to heal 5 of his damage. So he's now at 12 damage. Now he will take 1 strain to move here. Then he's going to charge 1, 2, 3, 4. And the attack is going to be against this right here. And just so I remember correctly, 7 health, 1 black defense die. So let's attack that. So like I said, we've got the Force Pike, which is normally 1 red and 2 yellows. However, Garkin is focused, and because of his ferocity ability, he'll add another red die to that instead of a green die. And then this has a black die for its defense. And of course it would roll a 3. But then we've got 3, 4, and 3 surges. So we'll go with... Oh. Guys, I'm going to back up. Hold on. Let's keep this roll, because what I'm about to change doesn't have anything to do with this roll. When Garkin charges, he has Rampage, which means that he deals 1 damage to everyone he's adjacent. Okay, no. I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it, actually, because this is new information that actually could have affected my decision here. I haven't done the calculations yet, but I'm not going to change it. What I was thinking was, if I ended here, then his Rampage ability will let him deal damage to both of these guys right here. Instead, by ending here, he's going to deal 1 damage to this guy at the end of the attack, as well as an additional damage to this. So we'll stick with that. All right, so we've got 4 damage, and then there's 2 additional damages from the Force Pike using surges. So that's 6 damage, which is enough to destroy this, actually. Okay, so let's go and destroy that. Gets us 2 fame. The station explodes in a brilliant flash. Weiss's ATST appears to lose some power. And then, because of the Rampage ability, this Stormtrooper does take 1 damage. All right, General Weiss himself is activating. Your attack pool consists of 1 blue, 1 green, and 1 yellow die. 1 blue, 1 green, and 1 yellow. Move 3 to attack the hero adjacent to the most other heroes. Well, that's nobody. So instead he'll attack. I mean, I guess technically they're tied for being adjacent to the most heroes. So he'll attack Garkin because he's the closest. All right, so Garkin rolls 3 defense. So that's good. And we've got, so both those damages are blocked. As far as surge priority, the first 2 surges would cause blast 3. Okay, I just did some quick checking. In the base game without the app, blast affects both friendly and hostile figures. However, in the app version of the game, in this version of the game, blast does not affect friendly figures. So now that we've got that covered, because essentially he would have blown up this Stormtrooper and would have killed him in the process of dealing me 3 additional damage. So let's go back to what we've got going on here. So we've got the 2 damage there, which is blocked by this defense die. But then we've got blast 3, so that's 3 damage done to Garkin. And that takes up 2 of the surges, and then there's 1 more surge, which is Pierce 2, which lets those 2 get through. So Garkin takes 5 damage from this hit, puts him back up to 17 damage. And then roll 1 red die. A rebel within 2 spaces suffers damage equal to the damage results. Target the healthy rebel who has suffered the most damage. So Garkin, and he's not within 2 spaces though, so that's actually not going to do anything. So instead, move 2 to reposition 3. And we're already at reposition 3, so we're good to go. General's orders, the 2 other highest cost Imperial figures move 2 towards the rebels and become focused. That would be this guy, so he's going to move here. Focused. And then it'll be one of these guys, and since this one's already right next to Garkin, let's go and turn them around. He'll become focused as well. All right, so now we need her to go. You know, it'd be nice if there was like some grenades or something in one of these crates. So she's going to go, Jen is going to activate 1, 2, 3. She's going to search this crate here. This crate is being used as a makeshift desk, but could contain useful supplies. You find some useful supplies in the crate, draw 1 supply card and 50 credits. Now, one thing I didn't mention is I do have this reward card. Rebel Recon. When a hero draws a supply card, he draws 1 additional supply card. He chooses 1 to keep and places the other on the bottom of the supply deck. So let's see what 2 supply cards we get. So I'm going to take the Adrenal Stem, discard this card during your activation to choose yourself or an adjacent friendly figure. The chosen figure recovers 3 strain and becomes focused. So this is gone. Now keep in mind that she's bleeding. So real quick, let's finish her move before I forget. So 1, 2, she was here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll do that. Maybe she can draw some of the fire. But she took a strain for her movement, which was her first action, and another strain for interacting with this crate over here. But she's at full strain now. She has 4 strain, so she'll take a damage for that. Now, before she finishes her activation, we're going to go ahead and use this Adrenal Stem to go ahead and discard 3 of her strain and go ahead and focus her as well. All right, the Elite Nexu is now going to go. And what is he going to do? His bonus, if this figure has suffered 4 or more damage, which he has not, so his bonus doesn't do anything. Now, Pounce places figure in an empty space within 6 spaces and adjacent to 2 or more rebels. Well, can't do that. So instead, places figure in empty space within 6 spaces and adjacent to the healthy hero with the lowest speed. Well, the only one within 6 spaces, and let's double check. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, absolutely. Right here. Going to pounce on Jin. So the Elite Nexu attacks red, green, and he's focused. So that will be 1 more green. And then Jin blocks with the white defense die. And now this Nexu would normally make her bleed, but she's already bleeding, so that's not going to affect her at all. Okay, so 5 damage, 1 of them's blocked. Thankfully, this surge is evaded, but that is 4 damage. So that's going to bring Jin up to 11 total damage out of 20. Now the next is going to move 3, reposition 3. So let's go 1, 2, 3. And by the way, with that, Jin took a hit here, so she's going to use her Quick as a Whip ability to go ahead and move to this space here to try to get a little bit closer to the general. Of course, you'd think with him being as big as he is, she couldn't miss, but you know. All right, let's go on and have, should I have Jin? No, I am going to have Garkin go. And Garkin is going to rest again. Once again, he's going to clear out all of this strain. We're going to use one of our med packs. That'll drop us down to 1 med pack left. But Garkin's going to clear off 5 of his damage. So now Garkin is at 12 damage total. And as a result of that rest, he's also going to use Adrenal Implant. Exhaust this card after resting. You become focused. So he is focused again, and now he's going to charge. So he takes on 2 strain, and he's going to charge directly at General Weiss. So he has 2 yellows and a red for the Force Pike, plus 1 red for being focused. Weiss blocks with 2 black defense dice. All right, let's see what we've got. So these 3 blocks cancel out that die right there. So let's go and move that out of the way. This is what we're left with. 1, 2, and we can use 3, 4. So that's 4 damage. Plus, we'll say that this now is a stun. So we have actually done 4 damage to the general, and we've somehow managed to stun him as well. Not sure how you stun an ATST, but I am happy to take that. And Garkin has ferocity. Oh, not ferocity, I'm sorry. Which one was it? It was rampage. So that's 1 additional damage. So in fact, Weiss has 5 damage total now out of 15 health. All right, so now this blue power station is activating. General Weiss performs this activation. He gains +2 accuracy, and his attack pool consists of 1 blue and 1 red die. I think I've been playing one thing wrong with the general. All right, if you look on this card, now I'm told to ignore Epic Arsenal. The app tells me to ignore that. It does not tell me to ignore any of the rest of this, which means that this card gives him +2 accuracy. And then the app says that this power station also gives the general +2 accuracy, which tells me that in fact right now he has +4 accuracy. And if that's the case, then both of those early hits should have hit Garkin. And if both of them hit him, I'm not 100% positive. I believe he should be injured. I believe he should be wounded. So in an effort to kind of try to make amends for missing that, I'm going to go ahead and flip him over to the wounded side for the remainder of the game. Pretty sure that that's the way I should have been playing it, so we're going to go ahead and do that. So real quick, let's just go over the differences here. On this side, you can see he has this rage ability. That's gone over here. On top of that, health 14, endurance 4, speed 4. Health is still 14, endurance is 3, speed is 3, and then down here, these abilities are all worse. You can see there's no red dice whatsoever, and there's several red dice now on those spots, which are the hardest to get surges with. So Garkin is now on the wounded side, and we'll proceed from there. So now with this attack with the power station, General Weiss attacks the healthy hero who has suffered the most damage. Well, now because Garkin is wounded, Jin is our only healthy hero, so he'll be attacking her using, what was the pool again? 1 blue, 1 red die. Okay, and Jin, of course, has the white defense die. Let's get these out of the way. All right, she has an evade that is no good. Fortunately, he has no surges, but she takes 4 damage, which is going to put her at 15 total damage now. And then General Weiss recovers 2 damage, so that's not good. Now, you'll also notice that he has this stun condition on him. With the app, what stun does for Imperial figures is it only affects them when they try to move during their turn. So they still can attack while stunned. It's just that if they try to move, instead of moving, they remove the stunned token from their figure. All right, so Jin's turn. She's going to go ahead. She's going to attack twice. She's going to attack the general twice. So the first time... Oh, wait, you know what? She's going to rest first because not rest. I'm sorry. She's going to use an action to discard this bleed token. So she's no longer bleeding. Then she's going to attack with the death hammer, red, blue, and then she's focused, so green. And of course, the general uses 2 black dice. So that's effectively going to be 1 damage, and then she's got the surge ability, which will be another damage. So that's 2 damage. Death hammer has an automatic 1 damage. So general has suffered 3 more damage, so that puts him at 6. And Jim will go ahead and use Opportunist to move 1 space because she dealt 1 damage to her target. So the Stormtroopers are activating. After this group's activation, deploy 1 defeated figure. Okay, well, there are no defeated figures, so this special isn't going to affect them. This bonus isn't going to affect them. Now, before they activate, Jin's going to interrupt, and she's going to take a pot shot from across the room here. Blue, red... And the Stormtrooper has a black defense die. So she's going to take a shot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It doesn't matter which one. So she's definitely shooting at the one who is focused. All right, so she only has 3 accuracy, but she does have a surge, which will give her +2 accuracy. Now, these 2 are blocked. That's 1 damage. But then because of the cheap shot ability, she applies +1 damage to the attack results. So that's 2 damage, which, since this is a regular Stormtrooper, is enough to kill him. So he is dead. And she'll once again use the Opportunist to move here. So next we'll have this Stormtrooper go. Move forward to attack the hero with the highest endurance. That's definitely going to be Jen at this point. So move 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Blue and green, and she rolls white. All right, so now that's 3 damage, 1 block, so 2 damage, but then she'll use her combat coat. When defending, you may convert 1 or more evade results to a block result, so that's only 1 damage that gets through to her, putting her at 16. Move to reposition 4, so 1, 2. And then this guy will do the same. 1, 2, 3, 4. She'll use, well, let's see. So 1 damage. That evade will get rid of that surge. So 1 surge left, which will be a damage. So she takes 2 damage there, which puts her at a total of 18 damage now. So she's getting pretty close to being wounded as well. Okay, we have a minor peril that has shown up. Now, this is kind of a soft timer to help speed things along. If you start taking too long in a game, these will start popping up. So in this case, a security turret pops up from a wall panel and gets 1 shot before you destroy it. A turret attacks the rebel farthest from tile 06A using 1 blue and 1 red. The attack does not require accuracy or line of sight. Where is 06A? So 06A is actually the starting tile. So which rebel is the farthest from there? All right, so Garkin is going to be the farthest away by just a little bit. And it says this is an attack, so I believe that means that Garkin can use his defense die. So he manages to block it all, so that's good. Okay, now, Weiss has 6 damage out of 15 health. If we can take him out right here, this will be the end of the whole thing. So I think I'm going to start with Garkin using... Yeah. All right, here we go. Garkin's going to go. He's going to attack twice. That's what's going to happen here. So here's the first attack. Oh, and of course... Oh, man. So Weiss rolled 2 evades. So, I mean, pretty good attack, though. I did 4 damage total to him. So that gets him up to 10 damage. And let's go one more time. All right, well, so that blocks each other out right there. And so 3 more damage. So he is at 13. I almost had him. He is very, very close to being dead. All right, and Weiss is activating. He has 1 green, 1 red, and 1 yellow die. Move 3 to attack the hero adjacent to most other heroes. Well, as we said before, the move is just going to get rid of this stun. And then he's going to attack Garkin. So what do we have here? 1, 2, plus those surges, which one's going to be for blast, and one's going to be for blast 3, and then one's going to be for pierce 2. So we've got 6 damage coming through, basically. All right, so that's the first damage we've got on Garkin since he became exhausted, though. Next, roll 1 green die. A rebel within 4 spaces suffers damage equal to damage results. Target the rebel who has suffered the most damage. and if a surge is rolled, become focused. So we're rolling 1 green die, targeting, in this case, Jen. 2 damage. This is an attack, so she can't roll any defense. She takes 2 damage, and that is just enough to wound her. So let's take a look at what that means for Jen being wounded. She now no longer has the opportunist ability. You can see that's gone. All right, now 10, 4, and 5 changes to 10, 3, and 4. And then down here, same thing with the red dice showing up now in the tests. Now it's Jen's turn, though, so she can end it right here. The general did not recover any health. Can she finish him off? All right, so she's attacking, obviously, with blue and red. General blocks with 2 blacks. We have 4 damage, blocking with 2. That's it. So the general's dead. The general blows up. With a grinding pop, the AT-ST's legs buckle, and the damaged vehicle collapses under the weight of its own massive guns. Quickly searching the wreckage, you recover the general's datapad, but no sign of the man himself. Not wanting to risk casualties, you leap into your waiting ship and head back to headquarters. All right, so something happened with my recording there. So you didn't get to actually hear the final victory, the final flavor text there. But essentially what happened was we cracked the datapad of the generals. We discovered he had managed to send a little bit of the information to Coruscant, but not much of it. So we managed to prevent most of the rebel information from getting in the wrong hands. Here you can see the total credits and total fame we earned in the mission. We also have apparently acquired the personal shield. So let's see what that is exactly. It's a tier 3 card. Personal shields, deplete this card while defending. Apply +5 defense to the defense results. Nice. All right, let's take a quick trip to the armory. See what we've got available. The sporting blaster, the 80, or is that B01 vibro axe, the shock emitter, and the spread barrel. All right, let me take a minute to look at these. Okay, so right off the bat, I think I'm going to eliminate the vibro axe. I think the force pike is a little bit better weapon for the most part, so let's get rid of that. Now, I could use a shock emitter to augment the force pike. That could be good. That would exhaust this card while attacking to apply +1 damage to the attack results, and I would have an additional stun ability, which effectively means I could do 2 stuns with a single attack, but that's not a whole lot of times that would be something worth doing, because that would only really be worth it if I was able to tag more than one enemy at a time. So, you know what, let's get rid of the shock emitter. So now the question is, do I do the spread barrel or the sporting blaster? Well, I think I'm going to do the sporting blaster. I'm going to sell the death hammer, buy the sporting blaster, and see if I've got enough left over. Maybe pick up this spread barrel. Let's take a look. All right, so we're going to sell the death hammer. And then buy the sporting blaster. And that leaves us with a 515 credit balance. Let's go on and stick that spread barrel, because let's look at that again real quick. The spread barrel exhausts this card while attacking a target within 3 spaces. Apply +1 damage to the attack results. We will go ahead and buy that as well to attach to the sporting blaster. All right, then let's go over here to pick our latest upgrade cards. So Sidewinder and Trick Shot are what are available for Jen, and for Garkin, Unstoppable and Brutal Cleave. Let's take a look at those. All right, so Sidewinder, after you resolve an attack, you may move up to 2 spaces.
And then trick shot. Use 1 strain and then use before you declare an attack with a pistol weapon. You can draw a line of sight from any space within 3 spaces. Well, I gotta say, I like the sounds of trick shot, so I'm going to take that for sure. Actually, on second thought, if I get Sidewinder with all the other periphery move abilities that she's got, I could effectively never spend an action or very rarely spend an action on movement if I had Sidewinder in addition to those other 2. So I'm going to take Sidewinder. That's the one I'm going to take. And then with Garkin, we've got Brutal Cleave and Unstoppable. Brutal Cleave, spend 1 strain or gain 1 strain. Exhaust this card after you resolve an attack with a melee weapon. Perform an additional attack targeting a different figure or object adjacent to the target of the first attack. So that's pretty good. And by the way, I know that I keep, every time I see that ranged symbol, I keep saying pistol, but I mean ranged. That's what I'm trying to say. Then Unstoppable. Apply +1 endurance and +1 speed to your hero. While attacking while you are wounded, apply +2 damage to your attack results. I think we're going to go with Unstoppable. So kind of a 50-50 mixed bag win there, I guess. I think it was a win. Ares did get away. Man, he really booked it through there pretty fast too. I don't know if we really could have caught him. Maybe if I got on that door 1 turn earlier, we would have caught him. But he really got out of there fast. So Ares gets away, but we do interrupt most of the communication between General Weiss and the Imperial Command. So most of our plans and everything are still safe, apparently. And then we escaped without taking any casualties. So that's good as well. Real interested to see how the rest of this campaign shapes up. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you like my channel, consider subscribing. And until next time, if you're bored online, bored offline.